Time to turn things over to Carly Agro for our first look at sports. Carly, and like we talked about off the top, pretty successful tournament here this week.
Yeah, unbelievable. And you know, as we mentioned, the people of Lloydminster talk about rising to every single challenge, and they had a good time out of this one too, for sure. Well, Lloydminster became a temporary home for 40 celebrities this week after NHL greats, CFL standouts, a Trailer Park Boy, and country music star Aaron Pritchett all joined in to make the Scott Hartnell and Clark MacArthur Celebrity Golf Classic a success. And as Sarah Olashuk reports, the Classic might be over. The funds have been raised, but the stars will be back.
Hi, Drew Stafford down here at the Stockade Convention Center with New Cap News. I'm here with Clark MacArthur. This is his event. It's a great event, great for the community.
During their stay in town, players assumed the roles of golfers, greeters, and yes, even reporters. It was a busy few days.
Couldn't have scripted it any better with all the rain, you know, that was an added stress. And then today everything parted and we had clear blue skies and the golf course was in excellent shape. We had 40 celebrities in town. Everybody had a smile on their face.
2 days of skilled swinging and smiling faces, but it couldn't be done without all the volunteers.
Putting in long nights to try to make it all happen, and it's really exciting to see it all come together and all the parts that no one was sure about come together and look great, so it's awesome.
Country music star Aaron Pritchett and his golf pairing won the tournament, but the real winners over these 2 days were the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation, scholarship funds of public and Catholic school divisions, and several local organizations.
Our homegrown celebs who go away and do great things in this world are proud to come home and make a difference at home where they grew up, and the communities that raised them, they want to make a difference.
Lloydminster scored a hat-trick when Hartnell and MacArthur committed to the tournament for 3 years.
We're already thinking about next year. We're seeing what worked well, what we can do better. We're getting some ideas from some of the participants. And hopefully, we know what, we'll build on the 40 celebrities we had this year.
Yes, saying goodbye is hard for everyone, but the stars will descend on Lloydminster again. Sarah Olashuk, New Cap Sports.
In other local hockey news, the Cold Lake Ice had a franchise season last year, winning the team's first league title, but the team is in financial ruins. As Clayton Brown reports, every season the Ice are sinking further and further into debt.
The Ice had its best season in team history this past year, making its first appearance at provincials. Although all of that success, financially, the Junior B squad is in big trouble.
Obviously, when we went over the books, we found out that we owe quite a bit of money, but our main goal is to pay off our debts and continue with the hockey team in Cold Lake.
Currently, the club owes the city over $20,000 for outstanding ice fees from 2 years ago.
Administration for the city of Cold Lake is going to work with the executive for Junior B Ice, and then see if there's some kind of a compromise or a solution to the problem.
The team is charged premium rates for ice fees, but Mayor Copeland says they are looking to help ease the strain, but stresses it just isn't that simple.
If you waive the ice fees for the Junior B hockey team, like what could be one of the options, what does that mean for minor hockey? And so it becomes a snowball effect. If you give to one organization, then you have a lot of other organizations wanting the same deal.
Rumors were growing the Ice were going to be sold and relocated, but the board of directors say they have plans in place to pay off the debt and keep the Ice in town.
We are looking at selling season ticket packages, and we have a great fan base here, so I'm sure that we will raise enough money through season tickets to help support the team through the year.
The Cold Lake Ice are scheduled to kick off the 2011-2012 season against Lloydminster. In Cold Lake, Clayton Brown, New Cap News.
Well, after a disappointing but necessary cancellation last weekend in Cold Lake, the CPCA Sega Pro Tour makes a stop in Wainwright, starting tonight for the annual Wainwright Stampede. The Stampede will feature 12 heats nightly, with Championship Sunday wrapping up with the H&E Oilfield Services $10,000 Dash for Cash. Heat number 12 should be a good one. Logan Gorst is hooked against his father Gary, and young gun Devin Mitswing will be challenging the father-son pair on barrel number 1. Races are scheduled to run tonight through Saturday at 5 o'clock p.m. and the finals begin Sunday at 2. And finally tonight, being a referee might just be the most difficult job to have in the sporting world. 1 minute you are a fan favorite, but all it takes is just a single blow of the whistle to turn an entire stadium or arena against you. Well, on this week's Superstar Next Door, Matt Schumont introduces you to a man who wore the zebra stripes for 30 years.
Growing up in the prairies, Leo Wirtz was a hockey player, but after getting asked to help referee a game, well, the calls kept on coming in.
Lo and behold, I got a second call, and when he called the third time, he simply asked, "Can you just show up 2 nights a week and do 2 games a night for the rest of the season?" And it took off from there.
And what turned out into Leo's calling card as he later went on to ref more than 3,000 games before calling it quits.
A lot of those games were only 1-hour games. You would do perhaps 2 to 3 games a night. They were only 1-hour games. And back in my era, there were a lot of tournaments. And on a weekend, you could easily do half a dozen or more games. So the numbers added up rather quickly in that matter.
Leo went on to having a great career as he refed in his fair share of big games.
I was fortunate enough to do the Western Canada Allen Cup playoffs a couple of years. I did a semifinal game in the Winter Games, Canada Winter Games, and then the senior hockey playoffs, junior hockey playoffs. There were some very memorable games that I can recall.
Well, after being out of refereeing for a number of years, Leo received a call from the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame.
When I get a phone call this past January announcing my selection to the Hockey Alberta Hall of Fame, which was a total and complete surprise. But at the same time, I'm very highly honored.
And on June 11th, Leo was officially inducted into the Alberta Sports Hall of Fame.
I'm highly honored, and to be in that room with the other inductees for 2011 was very special. And to be in that Hall of Fame with all the great men and women of Alberta who are there already is certainly indeed a high honor in my opinion.
Leo is also a member of the Lloydminster Sports Hall of Fame and also has umpired in the national championships. Matt Schumont, New Cap Sports.
Brought to you by your local BRP dealer. Power Merchants of St. Paul, Norsask of North Battleford, and RecTech Power Products of Lloydminster, your local BRP dealers.